All right. Last day of the Olympic trials here in the United States, in Eugene. We just capped off with a world record in the 400-meter hurdles. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, 50.65 seconds, taking down her previous world record from back in 2022 on the same track where she ran 50.68. I was completely shocked at that record. And this, I don't know. It's crazy because I'm not sure I even expected this. I did expect her to run 51s. I wasn't sure if she was going to run 50, but all the indicators were there, right? She had run 48.7 in New York City. She had run 22.0 in Los Angeles. So everything was kind of coming together, in Atlanta, right? I was down there and she ran, 52.7, right, to open up. So all the indicators were there, but to actually see her run 50.65 seconds once again, and I guess I'm not sure, but I feel like she looked even smoother, even cleaner, and maybe not nearly as tired as she did after what she did in 2022. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, she is an insane generational talent. I know people have been coming at me because I'm like, Dalilah Muhammad is still the GOAT. Listen, Sydney is about to win the gold medal in Paris, and she is going to solidify her GOAT status. Man, this was an amazing race. No one is touching what Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is capable of doing. And if it wasn't very clear, I think I was hesitant, but based off this race, she is going to run sub 50 seconds. She is very, very capable of running sub 50 seconds. Now, 50 seconds is not easy, right? This race was not easy. So let me not say that it was easy, right? She made it look easy, but it's not easy. Getting another 0.6 of a second to get under 50 seconds, that's not going to be easy. But we can clearly see that she is more than capable of doing it. She is a generational talent that should not be overlooked. I know at the top of the year, we were saying that, Femke Bol could challenge, right? She broke the world record indoors. She did that. Listen, I think most people are going to shut down those kind of arguments because Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is on another level. Now, I would really love to see Femke Bol potentially get into that 50-second range. I've been saying that I think she is more than capable of running 50.8 seconds or 50.9. I think she is still capable, and seeing what Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone was able to do here in Eugene is really going to, push that narrative. I think it's going to motivate Femke Bol to say, listen, I can't let up. Yes, I got the gold medal last year. I don't want it to be like, I only got the gold medal because Sydney wasn't there. She wants to make sure that she's pushing herself, and I think it's going to push her to a 50-second run. But that's Femke Bol. Sydney is on another level, man. It's really hard to kind of conceptualize. I wasn't even sure if that was the exact time when it came up on the screen. Absolutely insane. Now, behind her, this was the second deepest race that we have ever seen in the history of the women's 400-meter hurdles. Second place, just behind Sydney, was Anna Cockrell. Now, I'd been saying that Anna Cockrell, she was going to be one of the favorites to make the team, considering what she's been doing all season. She ran a personal best in the semifinals, where she ran 52 seconds, breaking that 53 barrier for the first time. Then in the final, second place, 52.64 seconds, taking a massive chunk off her personal best. She had run, 53.0 or 53 low entering these Olympic trials, but now 52.64. Yes, obviously it's not like, we're not talking about the 51s or the 52 or the 50s, right, that Sydney is running, but this puts Anna Cockrell in, maybe it's going to be tough. She puts her in a very good position to get that bronze medal. I think this is where the conversation really, really starts, where we're talking about Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, foregone conclusion. She's the gold medal favorite. Femke Bol, foregone conclusion, she's a silver medal favorite. Behind her, you have a bunch of women. You're talking about Anna Cockrell, right? You're talking about Rochelle Clayton, who just ran, 52.4 or 52.5 seconds, I think, down in Jamaica at their trials. Amazing performance for Rochelle Clayton, double bronze medalist at 2019 as well as 2023 World Championships. Then you have someone like Anna Cockrell. Anna Cockrell running this 52.64 second personal best really puts her in the conversation for, getting on that podium for the first time. She's been to the Olympics in 2021. She went to the World Championships last year in Budapest. This is going to be a big moment for her in Paris later on this summer. Then behind Anna Cockrell, Jasmine Jones representing USC. She's the NCAA champion, having run 53 low at NCAA's just a couple weeks back. She comes here and runs 52.77 seconds. Another massive personal best to get on the podium and to book her ticket to the Olympic Games. Shout out to Jasmine, as she's a newly minted pro. She just signed a pro contract with Adidas, actually through the rounds after the heats and then into the semifinals. So she's also going to be in that conversation for a bronze medal. Fourth place, this was heartbreaking because Shamir Little, we saw what Shamir Little was able to do all throughout the 400. She came back in the 400 hurdles and she was looking good. She runs 52.98 seconds. It's like, what more can you honestly ask for, right? She ran 52.98 seconds for fourth place, missing the team. Just for some context, prior to today, in this race where 52.98 seconds got fourth place, the fastest fourth place time in history was 53.0 seconds, I think by either Geneve Russell or by Rochelle Clayton. It might have been at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, right, when Sydney, Dalila, and Femke went 1, 2, 3. So for Shamir to run 52 seconds and get fourth place, it's like, what do you do at that point? It's not like, I don't know. It's not like, she in theory could have run much faster. I think her, last year, she ran like 52.8 to get onto the podium in Budapest. But it's like, I can't fault Shamir at all. I don't want people to say like, oh, she shouldn't have run the 400 hurdle or the 400 or any of that. Nah, like Shamir, she was in form. She was clearly in form. And it just sucks. This was such a deep race. But huge shout outs to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. Again, she's about to seal up her legacy if it already wasn't sealed up with a gold medal in Paris. Sydney is one of one. Sydney is one of one. Very, very huge shout outs. And my final shout out I want to give for the women's 400 hurdles is Dalila Muhammad. So this was her final Olympic trial. She said that she's not that she's going to retire this year or maybe even next year, but she's not going to be, competing all the way to Olympic trials in 2028. So this was her final one. And check out the interview that I did with her, on Citius Mag after the finals. She not only made it all the way through the round, she got to the final and she really made some progress running, 54.27 seconds in the final. She, got her season's best all throughout the rounds. Dalila Muhammad is, I know people are going to hate me, but she has so many different medals, right? Between 2013, got a silver medal. 2017, she got a silver medal. 2016 at the Olympics, she got the gold medal. 2019, she got the gold medal. 2022, she got a she got the bronze medal at the World Championships. 2021, she got the silver medal at the Olympic Games. Broke the world record on 2 occasions in 2019. So yes, when I was speaking to her in her conversation, right, we were kind of talking about how she really set off this wave of dominance in the 400-meter hurdles, right? This progression where women are running 52 seconds basically on command, right? They are going day after day, week after week, month after month, meet after meet. Everyone is running 52 seconds consistently. We're seeing Femke Bol in the 51s. We're seeing Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone in the 50s. And Dalila Muhammad was kind of that gateway and that door to be able to, set off the wave of what we're seeing right now. Anna Cockrell, I think in the stadium, I didn't actually get to hear it, but she gave a heartfelt message to Dalila Muhammad. They're both training partners. I spoke to her in the mix zone. Again, check out that video as well, that interview. She was able to kind of break down. She got really emotional just speaking to the legacy that Dalila Muhammad has been able to leave behind, the support that she's been able to receive. And man, this was an amazing performance for Dalila Muhammad to kind of end off her Olympic trials career here in the final. Man, she's a GOAT. She is a GOAT. And yes, I'm going to say she's still the GOAT. Go ahead, criticize me in the comments if you want. Again, like I said, once Sydney wins the gold medal in Paris, I think that she's going to solidify her GOAT status. But regardless, we don't leave that alone. I just want to talk about those men's 400-meter hurdles. Now, this was a foregone conclusion that Rai Benjamin was going to win the gold medal here, or at least get the win here, and he did exactly that in impeccable fashion. 46.46 seconds, and he hit a couple of hurdles on the back straight, right? He hit a couple of hurdles. This is, I think, the 5th fastest time all time in the event, right? We saw, Karsten Warholm with 45 seconds, Rai Benjamin with 46.1, Dos Santos with 46.2, and then, of course, Rai Benjamin with 46.3 from Prefontaine last year. Now, this 46.4 moves him, gives him the, number 5 performance, gives him 3 of the top 5 performances all time in the 400-meter hurdles. Rai Benjamin he's getting comfortable in this range, right, Ben? And we spoke about it, again, check out the interviews that I've done with Rai Benjamin all throughout the rounds, where we spoke about how the standard of the 400-meter hurdles obviously has not only stepped up, but it's raised the bar for everyone else, where we saw Caleb Dean at the NCAA championships. He managed to run 47.1 seconds, and he is not even in the conversation. And shout out to Caleb Dean, right? He wasn't able to finish this race, but we did see CJ Allen as well as Trevor Bassett. Both of them are going to be going to the Olympic Games. Huge shout outs to both of them. But man, Rai Benjamin, I think we're, taking for granted again the level of talent in the men's 400-meter hurdles with Rai Benjamin, with Alison Dos Santos, with Karsten Warholm. Everyone is really stepping things up and, pushing things to another level. check out the video that I did, I think earlier in the fall last year, where I spoke about how, we knew that Kevin Young, he set that world record all the way back in 1992 at the Olympic Games. And now that mark, right, it's not even in the top 15 all time, right? It just keeps getting pushed further and further back. So, man, I am so excited to see all these guys line up for the Paris Olympic Games. This is going to be one for the ages. I just need all of them are healthy. All of them are looking good. All of them have already run 46 seconds this year. I mean, this is going to be one of the greatest races that we have ever seen. We already saw that in Tokyo, right? In Tokyo 2021. We're on for another legendary race when we're talking about the 400-meter hurdles. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to expect. Rai Benjamin has been speaking about how he really wants to get under, 46 seconds again, or at least he wants to really do some damage. I think considering how his race wasn't as clean as it could have been, I think he graded it like a C- here. He can really put things together and he can do some serious damage. So Rai Benjamin, amazing performance. Shout out to CJ Allen. Shout out to Trevor Bassett. Someone get Trevor Bassett a contract. Someone get Trevor Bassett a contract. He definitely deserves it. He's been making teams year after year after year. There is no reason that a world championship medalist, a consistent, 47-second runner, someone who's consistently on the USA team, the hardest team to make in the world, doesn't have a contract. That's absolutely insane. Trevor Bassett, CJ Allen, they're definitely in medal contention. Sorry, this is tough. This is tough when you're talking about the top three, big three. But yeah, we're going to see how that kind of plays out. Also, just a quick shout out to, the other hurdles where we saw Grant Holloway took the win in the men's 110-meter hurdles the other day, running 12.86 seconds, right? That's one of the fastest times in history. I think that makes Grant only the first person in history to ever run sub 12.9 seconds multiple times in their entire career, right? He's run 12.81 seconds back in 2021. Now he's run 12.86 seconds. So only person in history to do so. Yes, he still has a ways to go in terms of that consistency within the sub 13 range, where you have guys like an Alan Johnson or an Aries Merritt, right? They've done it so many different times, but Grant Holloway is really dipping into that realm. He's really getting into that realm of a consistent 13-second hurdler. Check out the interview that myself and Caitlin Hutchinson did on Citius Mag Live. We got to sit down, as well as Chris Chavez, we got to sit down with Grant Holloway and really break down kind of his thought process of how he's just getting consistent in that 13-second range. Now, big shout out to Freddie Crittenden, another one. Also got a chance to sit down with him on Citius Mag Live. Check that interview out as well. He is going to Paris, finished second place behind Grant Holloway. He hit the last hurdle and he ran 12.93 seconds. That makes him number 13 all time in the event. Let's not sleep on Freddie. He might get on this podium. Don't sleep on Freddie in the 110 hurdles. Also, we saw Daniel Roberts, 12.98 seconds, I think it was. That made him the first time he got under the 13-second barrier, his personal best was 13 seconds flat from all the way back in 2019 at the NCAA championships, right? Where him and Grant went 1-2. Huge shout outs to Daniel Roberts. He got the bronze medal last year at the World Championships. He is going to be a serious problem, along with Freddie, along with Grant Holloway. Shout out to Hansel Parchment. Shout out to who else was it? Rasheed Brawbell, and I think it was Orlando Bennett. Someone could cross-check me. All three of them, I think they finished 1, 2, 3 in a photo finish at the Jamaican Trials. Amazing race there, but man, this is going to be very competitive when looking towards the Olympic Games. Now, on top of that, women's 100-meter hurdles, Masai Russell. Shout out to Masai Russell for, being so gracious, first of all, right? I always get a chance to speak with her. She's always so gracious to take the opportunity to stop. And shout out to her for running 12.25 seconds, a meet record, an Olympic trials meet record. You're talking about athletes like a Gail Devers, like a Joanna Hayes, right? Dawn Harper Nelson. You're talking about some legends in the sport of track and field. And Masai Russell just took down that record, right? You're talking about what? Brianna Rollins McNeil. You're talking about Kenny Harrison. They've all come through and they've all run amazing times. And Masai Russell was able to actually get that meet record. 12.25 seconds is an amazing performance for Masai. She spoke about how her season wasn't going as well on the surface, right, as you might expect, right? I think at Prefontaine, she had run 12.8 seconds. In Atlanta, when I was down there for the Edwin Moses track Legends meet, she ran, I think, 12.6. So she's been kind of making progress, but she was, at least on the surface, not in the form for a 12.25. Masai Russell showed up, showed out, and look at what she's done since she's left the NCAA, right? Since she's left Kentucky. She didn't even get the NCAA championship title, either indoors or out, right? Akira Nugent was able to take that from her both times. But then she did break the NCAA record, while she was there, both indoors and out. But then she made the world championship team to Budapest last year. Then indoors, she made the world championship team to Glasgow. And then now she's the Olympic trials champion going to the Paris Olympic Games. This consistency is unmatched. Not unmatched. Let me not say that, but Masai is really showing up. On top of that, second place, we did see Alicia Johnson. Shout out to Alicia Johnson, where, Lele has been really cooking. She's been really, putting in some great performances year after year. Made the World Championship team in 2022, missed it last year, but then she got a personal best here, running 12.31 seconds, equaled or just slightly ahead of Grace Stark. Grace Stark, NCAA champion. She came back from injury. Here she managed to run 12.31 seconds as well. Massive personal best. Signed a pro contract with Adidas. So Grace Stark is going to be going to her first Olympic Games, and she's going to be a problem. Looking towards into the future, she's going to be a serious, serious problem. Really excited to see what this team is able to put together when they get to Paris. But the rest of the world is there, right? Akira Nugent, I think she just ran 12.2 seconds at the Jamaican trials. I think Daniel Williams is going to be going to her first Olympic team. Huge shout outs to Daniel Williams. And then you have someone like Tobi Amisan, right? You have someone like Jasmine Camacho Quinn. There's so many women. You have Serena Samba Mayela, right? There's so many women who are in the conversation for the 100-meter hurdles. This is tough. And finally, before I end things off, shout out to Nia Ali. Nia Ali, she barely missed her an Olympic team here. She barely missed the team. 12.37 seconds, just missing the team. Really, really tough to see, her miss a team considering the progress that she's been making. She ran 12.4 early in the season. She then had some ups and downs, dealt with some injuries. Check out the interview that I did with her where she kind of broke that down. And then she came back. She went overseas right before trials and she ran 12.4 seconds. So she was looking good. But man, just missing that team, fourth place. Huge shout outs to Nia Ali. She was an amazing, amazing athlete. And she's not done. Let's be clear. She's not done. I spoke to Lolo Jones after her heat, and Lolo was like, yo, Nia Ali could be the first person, who gets to like 40 years old, down the line and could be running 12 seconds. I think it's very possible. Nia Ali is running 12.4 at this age, after all that she's been through. Let's not forget that Nia Ali was the gold medalist all the way back in 2014 at the World Indoor Championships. She's a silver medalist from the 2016 Olympic Games, right? She's a gold medalist from the 2019 World Championships. Let's give Nia Ali her flowers. But those are just some of the hurdle performances at the World Championships, those are just some of the hurdle performances at the Olympic trials here in Eugene. Let me know what you think. Always appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching.